Hello everybody. So let's take a look at the flowcharts that I've created here. I'm actually using Lucid Chart. It's technically it's free on the internet. However, I will say I'm a little disappointed because I got to this point and now it's not letting me it's not letting me add any additional shapes unless I start paying for the app. So I'm a little irritated. So if you see here, if I try to add another app, it does block it. So I'm going to have to probably pay for this, or at least do the trial and then cancel it once I get the assignment done, because it's been a lot of hours to get to this point. So I thought I would take a different approach for this flowchart and combine them both into one design. So if you look here, I've got the title section up above, Learner Experience Macro Micro Flowchart, Microsoft Teams Instructional Intervention Program. And on the left, there is one flow with the green line, and that one is covering the macro level flowchart. And the micro level flowchart uses the red line path. So if you see here, it's still covering the same content, but the macro level, since it is a higher level of coverage, it's going to start here and it's going to go through the main topics of the program, which is the pre-program preparation work, Model 1, which is Build the Learner Motivation, Model 2, which is Microsoft Teams Instruction, Model 3, which is Customized Team Strategy, and Model 4, and Post-Program Module, which is Enhancement. And then, of course, it goes into the end icon. So as far as how I did this, I'm hoping I can, I'm going to have to delete a couple just to show you, but it's just like any other tool. It's like Microsoft Visio. I'm very experienced with Visio. I've never actually had to use a different one, but I can't do this on my work laptop, so I had to figure something out. But basically, you just drag and drop shapes over as you want to create the flowchart. Let's see, I'll take that out of there. So let's pretend I'm not to this point yet. So if I wanted to put let's pretend I drag that shape over here, and I like to keep all of my spacing exactly the same between my objects. I feel like it makes it much more professional looking than when there's different size shapes and different spacing. I try to keep all of my shapes the same size. So rather than dragging it from over here every time, I actually will create one and get comfortable with the size, and then I just copy these shapes and then repaste them rather than pulling from the left side every time. So that's how I keep the sizes the same, and then the lines, obviously I just keep the spaces equal between those. It does take a lot more time to be this anal about the look of it, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to flowcharts that I create with work. So that's how you add the shapes, and then of course the lines, it's just a matter of hovering and dragging it and dropping it to where you want it to go. And then I have to change that color because I'm doing the micro path right here, and then another color here. So with these, it's really important to grab the right shape that indicates the right action that's happening. So if you look through here, my start is the right shape of an indicator. It starts out with a welcome email, which is a document kind of, and then it goes into some manual action by the learner, because this is obviously the micro path is covering the learner experience of the instructional program. So there's some manual actions here. I actually have quite a bit of pre-work just because of the specific learner audience I'm working with are very veteran, very experienced, and time is very limited. And then, of course, they submit that work back before they come, once they're in the program. So Module 1, I have them joining the MS Teams virtual meeting. Introduction and overview of the program and model. And then as you see with a lot of these, they had the ability to add these little icons, which I really kind of liked, but I've been playing around with them, trying to figure out how I want to use them. But it's kind of a nice, just quick visual thing to know what it's about. So like the assignments, I have the yellow triangle with the eye. Check marks are, completing a task, and then the soft eye is going to be things, like reflections, case studies, kind of like the activities of what the learners are going to go through. And then in the red text below, I created this little icon that kind of points to the box, and then it gives more details on the specific activity. So for example, you see it says discussion on quality of current strategy. I'm choosing a method for that activity to compare and contrast compiled responses from assignment 3, which is that pre-work up ahead or before they come to the course. So if we go look up at assignment 3, it says list the pros and cons of the current collaboration strategy and tools. So it's something that I'm having them do anonymously before they come to class, and then I'll compile all of those, and then I'm purposely using those at this point in Model 1 to really start to boost motivation. So I'm going to compile all the things that users are not happy with the current strategy, or learners, I'm sorry, and then we'll compare and contrast those before next we'll be in this next activity we'll actually start moving in and brainstorming and talking about real benefits that Microsoft Team offers. So we go from talking about the negative of today to the positive of tomorrow. And then right after that, we'll do a case study activity where we actually take an actual real life situation, that a collaboration example, and then we compare it to how we think it might run with Microsoft Teams. And obviously that would demonstrate a much more efficient model. Anyway, that's just a quick walkthrough of my draft so far. I hope you guys like it. If you have questions, let me know. Thanks.